Have you ever played a game and been like, I enjoy this. This is great. But this person is a piece of shit? Now, what if you knew that character or characters were going to be said pieces of shit and could do something about it? You'd probably do everything in your power to make their life a living hell. But sadly, video games are predetermined most of the time, and we don't get that luxury. Unless... New Game Plus. What a wonderful invention. Just replay the game while already being incredibly overpowered. Easily trounce any enemies that gave you difficulties the first time. You know, maybe you saved someone and they turned out to be not that cool. Not this time, bud. Or maybe you burned down the entire world in the name of the Frenzied Flame. Regardless, New Game Plus is usually an easier go-around because you have that information that you gained from your first playthrough. You see it in a good amount of video games, but what about anime? Sure, there's plenty of shows where an MC will be transported into a game like an RPG or an MMO and already has knowledge of that world, but what about a game that had a concrete ending? That's something you don't see often, or maybe at all, at least until this season. Because in spring 2022, we have truly gotten New Game Plus, the anime. Trapped in a Dating Sim is normally not a show I'd end up watching just based off the title and synopsis alone, but since I watch a few episodes of each anime on new seasons, I gave it a shot. Frankly, I wasn't disappointed. Actually, the opposite. The show kinda slaps. Show starts out like any other isekai. You got our main character shut in his room playing a game, which he clearly seems to be enjoying. After countless nights, he finally beats the game, and then the apparent starvation has crept in, and he decides that he needs to go get some food. I'm sure you know where this is going. Protag's gonna go to the store, and on his way get hit by a truck and teleport into the fantasy world. We just gotta head down the stairs towards the street and...
This guy fucking sucks. Look at him.
I don't know if I should be happy that he didn't get hit by a truck or disappointed that falling down the stairs did him in. Like, there wasn't even a conveniently placed umbrella to gouge him in the throat. He kind of just tumbled down and ceased to exist. After that embarrassing death, he then wakes up in a world that is strangely familiar and quickly realizes that it is the world of the Otome game he played. And again, he's thrilled. But why did he hate this world? Well, in the game, the women are all excessively strong with awful personalities, and the men are just meant to look nice and share about 4 brain cells between them. It's just like real life. Yeah, maybe I should go with that joke. In the world, his name was Leon Fo Bartfort, which is a whack-ass name. Since he didn't recognize that name from the game, he came to the conclusion that he was just some background mob character, and thus he decides to live in the background to the best of his abilities. He's supposed to be going to the academy soon, the same academy where the game takes place. However, the shit's expensive and his family doesn't have the money, and his bitchy stepmother isn't going to send him. Now, she actually wants to just arrange a marriage with some 50-year-old and make his life miserable. It's at this point where he realizes he's a gamer. And do you know what gamers do? We pay to fucking win. Why get better at a game when you can just buy an item and make yourself stronger? In his previous life, he had bought a ship in the game, and considering that this is that game world, it must still be there. Turns out it is in fact still there, so now our MC, who knows everything about this world, just made himself overpowered as fuck. We're talking pretty damn strong. Like, we're putting the RE4 rocket launcher to shame with this. With the money he brought back, he's able to attend the academy and resumes his role as a mob character. Kinda. Leon at least attempts to live a quote-unquote ordinary life there, but as time goes on and events from the game start to occur, he's reminded at how much he hates the characters in the academy itself. Despite his best efforts to just keep on trucking, the characters just become insufferable. I will say this world does a great job of making you hate almost every character at the academy. It's that stereotypical noble who hates everyone below them, is super privileged but has no actual skills for themselves. Those type of characters that you just want to see fail, and well, that's what we get. The immense amount of satisfaction watching this man who knows what's going to happen completely toy around and make fools of everyone is just that revenge boner I'm looking for. It's great too, because they still have that blind confidence that next time they'll be able to best Leon. Well, next time comes around and they get clapped again. But as enjoyable as watching characters you hate fail is, there needs to be a bit more substance. If I just wanted to watch characters I hate get beaten constantly, I'd just tune into a Let Me Solo Her stream. While I initially was engrossed from the revenge aspect, I stayed for the rest. Our main character gets involved in the world and ends up doing all of these things because he wants his standing to be super low, but each time he ends up increasing his rank and status, which brings in a pretty funny dynamic. Additionally, some of the characters he interacts with are a lot different from what he remembers in the game, so it's enjoyable to see their behavior and how his relationship forms with each one. Only downside so far with the show is that while the main character is the most knowledgeable person in the world, he's also kind of a dumbass. He's so set on the "I'm just a background character" vibe. Just because he doesn't remember his name from the game, he assumes that his role isn't important. He'll constantly do stuff to impact the world, but then be like, no, I can't do this or get too close to this person because of how the game went. His mindset is that this world will play out the same way as the game. And yeah, while the events that occur are pretty much the same, he died in real life and is now actually living in that world. It's not just video game characters now, these are the real people that he's interacting with on an everyday basis. All in all though, Trapped in a Dating Sim is an unexpected success for me this season. I could kind of just sit back and chill while the MC fucks around, and it's just a good time. The show is scheduled for 12 episodes, but I heard something about it getting 26. It's probably wrong, I just read it on a comment somewhere. If the thought of a revenge comedy with a lot of different character dynamics interests you, then you'd probably like this show too. Let me know what shows you've been watching in the comments, and if you enjoyed this vid, be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to support further, you can find my Patreon link below. You can have access to exclusive content, Discord badges, early access, or get a shout out at the end of the vids like That Rat Murrow, Marshall Cox, Peppy Jewel, Jetstream Chad, Nicholas Gutierrez, Goose Curve, Tech Rob, Shaky Pants, Chupa, and Alt. That's all I got for you guys today. Fucking have a good one, I guess. See ya.